Hi everyone, you reached Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. For all you out there, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Hit the like button, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. And share my video with your friends and family so that they can come to my channel and get to know me also. I'm here today with a quick video on the ex-bailiff, the former bailiff for the Judge Judy show. Now, I read this story a couple times. It kept popping up on my timeline over and over again about this ex-bailiff on the Judge Judy show, and his name is Patrice Hawkins Bird. So his story of how he met Judge Judy is very interesting, and it also gives you a lesson in how networking can go a long way. But I back up to say this: the whole spark and controversy and story that grew legs is the fact that Judge Judy is coming back to TV. She's going to have another judge show, and she's going to have a bailiff on that show, but she never asked Patrice, who they have worked together for 25 years, and he never got the opportunity or the offer to come back. So, people were asking him about it, like, what happened? Why aren't you going back to work with her? Why didn't you get an offer? And he said, when he actually spoke to Judge Judy, she said that he priced himself out of this new opportunity, and he was like, he never had the opportunity to negotiate, to even price himself out, or to say like, I will take less or whatever. So what are my thoughts on that? My thoughts are, if you want to know them really quickly, she just didn't want him. But we'll get into that. So let's back up and tell the story on how he actually met her. So I saw him on a reel, and that's what prompted me to go ahead and do this video, because I saw him on a reel and I saw and heard his own words of, his thoughts on what happened in the process. So he was on the reel, he talked to the ladies on the reel, and he pretty much said that he's known Judge Judy for 35 years, even though they worked together for 25. So he's originally from Brooklyn, and he worked in the Brooklyn courts as a bailiff for a little while, and that's where he first met Judge Judy. Moved to Los Angeles, and I'm fast forwarding the story a little bit. He moved to Los Angeles, and he heard that Judge Judy was getting her own show. He wrote her, saying congratulations, and at the end he wrote, I still look good in my uniform in case you need a bailiff. So voila, he gets a job. Just a magical history and story. 25 years he worked with Judge Judy on the Judge Judy show over a congratulations letter. So just imagine, and I don't think when he was writing that letter he thought, oh, I'm going to just get this job with her and have this longevity, because you don't even know. People can have a show or get a show. Doesn't mean that it's going to last as long as the Judge Judy show lasted. But I just imagine how a thoughtful thing like that, saying congratulations and pretty much making a little joke at the end, landed you a gig that lasted 25 years. And that's not a bad run. So anyway, that's how he got his job with Judge Judy. So when the ladies pretty much asked about their relationship, the relationship between himself and Judge Judy, he pretty much said that, they wasn't good friends like that. And he wasn't saying it in a negative way. He was just saying it in a way like, I didn't really know her like that. And it's shocking to us, or at least it's shocking to me, because I'm thinking to myself, you work with somebody for 25 years and you literally was like, in terms of actual space, like this close to each other. Like, she's behind her judge desk, and you're like right off to the side of her. And, people would think, just watching, at least I did, that 25 years together, they got to be good friends. They, it seemed like they had a good working relationship and good chemistry in working on the show. So he said, no, it's almost like, and I want to say he used Bill Gates as a scenario. He said it's like the person working with Bill Gates, that person is in the mailroom, and then someone asks them, like, that person works in the mailroom, and one of the friends asks him, like, oh, do you know Bill Gates? It's like, and the person's like, no, I don't know Bill Gates. And so my thing is the analogy that he used of someone in the mailroom knowing like the big CEO or the owner of the company. Anybody hearing that story, you could think, yeah, I could see how that person doesn't know the owner or the CEO of the company. But when you talk about him and Judge Judy, and like I said, like being literally that far apart from each other, it's like, how could you not be close? But he said he never had dinner at her house, but he apparently at least had her personal phone number, because when he found out that Judge Judy was going to have another judge show and was going to have a bailiff on that show, he did eventually call her, prompted by, his wife, and his wife is like in the industry, and he did eventually call Judge Judy and was like, what's up? And I'm paraphrasing, guys. And so she pretty much told him, like I said earlier on, that he priced himself out of the show, even though he said they didn't even give me the opportunity. They didn't even let me negotiate to say, yes, I'll take the same amount of money, I'll take less money, or I want more money. Now, I will say this. Typically, if you have a person that has a job and they're going to go for another job, really, I have never seen someone say, oh, I'll take lower. They either want at least the same amount of compensation or more. So maybe Judge Judy just assumed that she knew what he was getting paid and that he will want the same or more, and that's not what they're going to pay the new or offer the new bailiff on the show. But I don't think it was that. I think it was more of she just didn't want him. And I think people would do better if they just told people the truth, right? And the reason why I said she just didn't want him, you didn't even give him the opportunity. You didn't even talk to him to say, hey, do you want to come back? If you do, just know that the budget, which I doubt, but just know that the budget doesn't, afford for you to have that same salary. Are you okay taking half your salary or maybe $10,000 less? Give him the opportunity to say yay or nay. So that's part of why I'm saying she didn't want him back. And in addition to that, I believe that this is Judge Judy. Judge Judy that had a very successful show for 25 years. So if she has an opportunity for a new show, I highly doubt that the budget is low. I think they probably gave her a very nice budget, knowing that her track record is almost going to prove that people are going to tune in and watch. So what do I think the real story is in the bigger picture? Again, like I said, she just didn't want him. So just forget about maybe a show that we see on TV. Think about just corporate America. Think about maybe Walmart, Target, or whatever. A lot of times when managers have a person that for whatever reason they no longer want on their team, they can't just wake up and be like, oh, I'm going to fire them, because they can risk getting sued. So they find other legal, strategic ways to get rid of the person. Some of the ways is, maybe they just demolish or get rid of that whole department. They're like, oh, okay, we no longer need the counting department. So they send all of those people in that department a notice saying that, sorry, the company is dissolving this area. You can look for other jobs within the company, and there probably are none. You can look for other jobs in the company, but as of whatever, the 30th of the month, that's it. It's over. You're done. Other ways that they, can find is, they could say whatever they want legally. And I think legally, in the nice way, her one show ended. Maybe for whatever reason, she wasn't that happy with him, or she just literally just didn't want him back at all. So now she's starting a new show, and that was her easy way to get rid of him, rather it be in some controversy and say, you know what, fire him. Because she swore that she was retiring and wouldn't, come back to TV, but now you're coming back and you're having another judge show, and it's having a bailiff. And so far from what we know, it's a similar format to the one that you just retired from. I read that family members are now, and listen, her prerogative and her right, I read that family members are now going to join her on this new show. I believe a granddaughter. Don't know who the bailiff is going to be, but we shall see, and time will tell. So he should look at it as, you know what, you had a good run. It was 25 years. And that's nothing to, be looked down on. Like, there's some people who can't even say they've been at a job for 2 years, 5 years, or let alone, a decade, and you've been on there for 2 plus, right? So maybe also it's a sign from God, the universe, to say, you did a good 25 years, Isabella. Now you know what? Get into something else and do your own thing. I don't know if you ever watched the Jerry Springer show. Jerry Springer used to have, and his name is slipping my mind right now, but for lack of a better word, I'm going to say like his sidekick, his bodyguard on the show. And he ended up getting his own talk show. And if I'm not mistaken, it might still be on to this day. I don't watch it because, it's a similar, it's a little bit less drama than the Jerry Springer show, or it was almost maybe about the same amount of drama or more, but he did get his own show. So maybe Patrice should look into getting his own show. Not sure what he can do because he was the bailiff, but hey, if someone that was the bodyguard can get their own show, perhaps you can too, Patrice, and maybe you should look into that. Sometimes I think when one door closes, instead of us going back and knocking on that door and asking the person to open it back up for us, if we can just sit down, let the smoke clear, and say to ourselves, is this God trying to tell me that he has a different direction for me, something more for me, and something better? So that's my take on it, guys. And listen, chat with me in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on it. I'm sure you heard the story. If you want, the clip is not long. You can Google the clip on that he was on the reel, and hear him say for himself. He's like, "This is my side," and it's that simple. It's nothing big and dramatic to tell. I can't tell you, pretty much. And guys, I'm paraphrasing. Like, it was no drama to tell, so to speak, of, I had this big blowout with Judge Judy or whatever. But I also will say this. I think that we all have some signs, regardless of if the relationship is, you and your mate, you and your girlfriend, you and your best friend, you and your mom, your dad, your children. There's some signs when there is a fractured relationship. So in some sense, I'm like, he shouldn't have been so blindsided by this, because if you yourself can say that you wasn't that close to this woman and you heard that she now has another show, like, I don't know, what are your expectations on her bringing you back in if maybe y'all was just, it was nothing special between y'all anyway? I don't know. So guys, listen, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.